The following is a special presentation of Digital Horizons, the leader in sports highlights entertainment.
I am here to tell you that at the last show, would you pay attention to me when I'm talking to you? By the way, Penn is already 1-0. Check this out. I just want to tell you the last show in Franklin, Pennsylvania, I had prior commitments, and you use that as an opportunity to take liberties because I wasn't there, and I'm going to tell you, that sucks to do you. As the director of operations of professional wrestling in the International Wrestling Cartel, don't ever forget who runs the show. And don't ever forget, if you make decisions that you can't live with, I'm going to show up to fix them. You bring back Shiima and Marco? Are you kidding? Rest in peace, Shiima and Marco, November 20, 2010. He might not be dead, but his career is. The man that sexually and he needs the love of the fan, unlike the founding father. You know what we need the love of? We need the love of professional wrestling because we're the best at it, and that's all we need. But let's talk about your thing besides Jimmy and Marco. In case you didn't notice, nobody else has been paying attention, so shut up. So here's the deal, buddy. You made some money. As a special guest referee, and you put Logan Shulo, he's in the match, he wants to become one of the founding fathers. And with that Logan Shulo, available $20 at intermission. The founding fathers t-shirt is not for you. You took the pin 1, 2, 3. To me,
well, in case you haven't guessed, we're on the air. IWC College Fightfest Volume 2. Joe Dombrowski ringside.
I want to make it real! Wait a second. Mickey is not there. Marshall Gambino. Why don't you come out here, buddy? We need to talk to you right and you got to tell us.
I am joined at ringside here by the Master of Alliteration, Classic Ken Cole, and IWC's answer to TL Hopper, Justin Plummer. Marshall Gambino joining the Founding Fathers at ringside, where Bubba making up for his absence last week.
Mr. Marshall Gambino! How are you, my friend? I'm much better now. Listen here, buddy. I can say Mickey Gambino. You know why? Because your buddy Mickey Gambino is not here, and the look on your face says how pissed off you are at me. You want to know where Mickey is? Do you want to know where Mickey's at? Yeah, I do want to know where Mickey's at. He hasn't answered phone calls, text messages, emails, anything. So what's up? We don't know where Mickey's at. We don't know where Mickey's at. We have no idea. Why would you think that this group of professional athletes, that this guy who's trying to become a professional athlete, knows where Mickey's at? They get so fired up and they say anything over and over again, and you let me believe, and you want me to think that you're going to be a pin on the show? Tonight, Marshall Gambino, you want to be a founding father? Do you want to be a founding father? I can make these matches. Marshall Gambino, Logan Shulo, tonight at Kensington.
That's big.
You win, you're a founding father. If you lose, you're not a founding father.
That's pretty simple.
For once, I like where you're coming from. But I have a little stipulation of my own. If I beat Logan Shulo tonight, then on May 27th, at the Road to Supreme, it's me and you, one-on-one. Before I say yes or no, I forgot to tell you something. Tonight, Marshall Gambino, Logan Shulo, no holds barred. Wait, no holds barred and no disqualification. Not just no holds barred and no disqualification. Tables, ladders, and chairs.
That's not fair. I sort of like that.
I agree.
The stakes have just been raised, gentlemen.
I gave you everything you wanted. Now you gotta prove it. We don't want that, Papa. I went to school here and shut your mouth and listen to me. I went to school. I got a degree right here. Every day that I went to math classes, it was the absolute worst time of my life. I hated it. It was a joke. Students were jokes. Ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, I'll take math because I want to become a founding father, and I also want to prove to all the idiots out here, especially these ones, especially the boys, and I am the best thing. It's an undeniable fact that I'm the best thing to ever come out of the school.
Maybe the only thing to come out of the school.
You might have went to school here and got an education, but son, tonight I'm going to whip your ass to give you an education. Whoa! Gentlemen, enough. Tonight, right here, no holds barred, no disqualification, tables, ladders, chairs, oh my! That's fine. You got a surprise, well guess what? That poster on the outside says that I have a surprise here tonight. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you the special guest referee and the main event here tonight. The man who returned last Saturday, former IWC champion and the best man performer in IWC, delicious Jimmy Dombrowski.
Jimmy DeMarco's career was unceremoniously ended as a result of Bubba the Bulldog, John McChesney, and the Founding Fathers. Legally, the former IWC champion cannot compete again here in IWC. However, he finally found a way to stick it to Bubba the Bulldog and company, and that's what happened last week. May happen tonight.
How about the shirt on my time with someone else's back, jerk up? I gotta get something. I did grab his penis in November. But it was really hard to find, and I had to grab it around and maybe I need to squeeze it. And you know what? He did. I did not! Anyway, come up on the cops. The cops came and they tried to fingerprint his penis. It was crazy. But there's like 1,000 new
time, Bolen was working for the Founding Fathers in their infancy, but that was business only. It was only about a payday. After Bolen found out what Bubba's true plans were, he revolted from the group and is now fighting the good fight. Bolen's an individual that Bubba, Jimmy Vegas, Dennis Gregory, John McChesney, Teen Radford want to hold down. They want the spotlight. They want the power. The Filipino Flex Factory turned down an offer to join the Founding Fathers because he wanted to strike out on his own as well. It's very clear Shiima could see, gentlemen, that the ambitions of Bubba and company were purely selfishly motivated, and I'm disappointed that Logan Shulo has not detected that thus far.
Alright. First thing first. Little loud. Little loud. Thank you. Alright, first thing first. Bubba. Dude. Let me tell you this from the bottom of my heart. Listening to you is so painful. You are as boring as that shit. And that's pretty good. The last time I was in the gymnasium, I ended up throwing you for basketball. So let me be the first to just say this. I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't really like you that much either. You poor jerk-offs. I despise you. And tonight, you're all going to be with me. And you know someone else who doesn't like it for you? Me! I don't like you, I don't like you, I don't like you, I don't even like you. But there's somebody else that doesn't like you either. It's our mystery partner for tonight. Because everybody knows what he's going to go, but I've had several wrestling tours in Mexico where I've been international with me. And in Mexico, I've met several luchadors who are very powerful individuals. But I also met a white boy, and he was very powerful too. And he happened to be from Penn State, New Kensington. So let me introduce all of you to Penn State, New Kensington.
Fellas, the crowd is going wild. Xion is a junior here at Penn State, New Kensington, majoring in corporate communications. He is actually training to become a wrestler, and this is his opportunity at one big break.
Well, they threw a curveball at Bubba and company, but it's a risk. Will it pay off? Will the reward justify the risk?
A curveball, that's more of a stick.
Bubba, here's the thing. Yeah, it's transparent. I don't care because anybody that's in Penn State, New Kensington that wants a piece of all of their butts and gets a chance to kick them, and I say put them in the match. So here tonight, not only do you have Jimmy D, Shiima, John Bolen, and Xion, because this is a lumberjack match. And someone wants to know what I'm asking you.
Now this isn't fair at all.
This is evening the odds. It's like.
Remember this, every time you think you're smarter than me, you gotta deal with a whole bunch of reality. You think DiMera is your special guest referee? Well, guess what you know? No penis touches today, my friend. In fact, you'll never touch my penis again.
There's too much penis talk.
You think you're gonna scare me? DiMera is special guest referee? Well, I have one last try I see you, son of a bitch.
What's this? Oh no.
Because tonight
has the power to do that. He's the director of wrestling operations for the International Wrestling Cartel. And Bubba just pulled a power play over Jimmy DeMarco. And DeMarco's none too happy, looking face to face with the man that humiliated him on his last night as an active wrestler in IWC. Jimmy DeMarco, Shiima, Xion, John Bolen, Xielo, all these lumberjacks tonight oppose Bubba the Bulldog and the Founding Fathers. The battle lines have been drawn in this war of attrition, this faction warfare, in tonight's feature bout here on IWC DVD.
Ladies and gentlemen, your opening contest is a Super Indy 10 qualifier. However, this contest will automatically be entered in a Super Indy 10. Ladies and gentlemen, the first combatant, he weighs at 193 1/2 pounds, wrestling straight out of the gym. Here's true talent, beautiful body, Lorelei Shields.
The only man egotistical and vain enough to have 3 different nicknames at once. He is true talent, beautiful Bobby the Body Shields, making his IWC debut and looking to impress in just his first night, as he is involved, as Pedro DeLuca, our ring announcer, stated, in a Super Indy 10 qualifying match. And we've seen a number of careers here in IWC launched as a result of the Super Indy tournament, from Delirious, Jerry Lynn, of course, the late great Sweet and Sour Larry Sweeney, Chris Sabin, and perhaps most importantly and famously, Super Hentai in the very first one. Can Bobby Shields follow in those footsteps and put his name on such a prestigious list?
Well, you know, Joe, me and you, we're no strangers to Bobby Shields. We know what Bobby Shields can do in that ring, and he's not to be taken lightly at all.
Bobby Shields has had experience in all 3 national wrestling promotions available today, WWE, TNA, and Ring of Honor. He can get the job done.
That he can. But so can his opponent.
Now, I respect this guy's ability, but this guy's got some serious problems by the looks of things.
He's got some serious problems, but he got some serious talent. I've seen a man wrestle death matches, high-flying matches, lucha matches, technical matches. Pinkie can do it all.
He's hanging out with a lion dressed in a scarf.
I believe that's the Penn State Indy Lion, and that may just be the motivation he needs to get over here and qualify for Super Indy 10.
Well, certainly time will tell. Pinkie Sanchez, very eccentric, very charismatic, and very, very athletic as well. Also making his IWC debut, Pinkie Sanchez has a big name for himself in the East Coast of the United States, competing for many of the top regional promotions out that way. The internet knows about him very well. IWC fans here in Penn State, New Canaan, maybe not so much, but they're about to get a crash course, on both of these young athletes. Little souvenir for someone in the front row.
You know what time it is.
Super Indy 10 already we've seen qualified. Michael Obama Facade and Jason Gory, both of Flippin and Easy, the co-holders of the Tag Team Championships. Facade qualified in Clearfield not too long ago. Gory qualifying just a few days ago, the Night of Legends, with a hard-fought win over Bobby Beverly. And I think Pinkie Sanchez trying to show off a little bit of his own body to Bobby the Body Shields. Konobu tie-up. And it's Sanchez showing the technical prowess early on as he catches Shields off guard with a quick takedown. Great ring presence by Shields. Shields has really studied his game a lot over the past several months. He attended the Team Taz dojo in Red Hook, New York, not too long ago, which is certainly going to make you more of a polished, well-rounded athlete, not just in submissions and the judo style Taz is most famous for, but rounding you out as an overall professional wrestler. We'll see if Shields can use that to his benefit in this contest.
I think Pinkie should worry more about Bobby Shields. It seems like he's having too much fun in there.
Well, Sanchez, he's a master of psychology. There's psych-out games right now, and it's working on Shields because Shields wants no part of this matchup right now. He's thrown off this game. But keep in mind, gentlemen, the stakes here at hand, Super Indy 10 qualifying matchup, men that have won that championship before, competed for that championship before and come up short. AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Raven, Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, stars from Mexico, stars from Japan, stars from Canada, Evan Bourne, CM Punk. All these men have competed in Super Indy tournaments in the past. Some have made it, some haven't. It's the most competitive field, the most competitive tournament anywhere in independent wrestling. If you're on that field, you're on the map. And showing off is not going to get you in the final 8. Sanchez, however, the hip lock takedown. Shields is dazed. And Sanchez with a quick lateral press but only gets a count of 1.
It's going to take more than that to hold Bobby Shields down. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Leg takedown. Super Indy is all about pushing your body beyond its normal limits. Of course, the very Japanese-type tradition every year with Super Indy where a new champion is crowned every single year. The title is traditionally forfeited in the tournament format, or the champion has to defend through the tournament, as we saw the attempt last year. As we said, it's rooted in Japan, a bit of a different culture shock, so to speak, than what we see. But whoever wins that tournament has to survive 3 matches in one night to wear the Super Indy crown. Certainly conditioning comes into play, athleticism as well. Shields able to catch Sanchez on that tightly enforced top ring cable.
Some nice cross faces there.
And shades of Taz.
That's right.
Double handful of hair. And Bobby Shields not impressed early on by Pinkie Sanchez. Mr. Plummer, you've seen a lot of sports in your time. You've covered a lot of athletes in and out of wrestling. How does a tournament atmosphere change your game, change your strategy heading in?
Well, Joe, it's very different. It's a lot easier to watch one man wrestle 3 matches. But the thing that you don't think about is the longevity required. You got to go out there and give it your all every single match. But in the back of your mind, you got to think. You got to know just how hard to push it. Because if you overdo it, get that first victory, that doesn't necessarily... Oh, close call there. That does not necessarily mean you're going to get through the rest of that tournament. So you got to be very smart on top of being very athletic to get through an 8-man tournament.
Absolutely true. Shields certainly taking liberties with the hair of Sanchez. It drives him down with a backbreaker right to the kidneys. Bobby Shields is not particularly flashy, but he knows how to get the job done. And that's what Shields going to have to do. He's going to have to dictate the tempo of this matchup. Slow things down. Ground Sanchez. We've seen Sanchez as the more energetic of the two and the quicker of the two. Shields likes to methodically punish his opponent and certainly show off. Shields loves to have the spotlight all on him.
Pinkie's trying to play back here.
Great nip up. The short jabs. Little flip up and fly, if you will, baby. Sanchez feeling the momentum here in New Kensington, and that burst of offense has switched the tide.
Looks like Pinkie grabbed some adrenaline from that foreign object he obtained from outside of the ring.
Double arm suplex, beautifully executed. And Shields is in trouble. And you got to question if Shields' ego got himself into this predicament. But before we question that, let's question Sanchez flying for the ropes.
My goodness.
The tope suicide dive to the outside. Pinkie certainly hurt himself, but he took out a lot more out of Bobby Shields, who crashed back of the head first into that solid steel guardrail.
High-risk maneuver, but very smart. Do not give Bobby Shields a chance to catch his breath.
Shields back in the ring. Can Sanchez follow through? Can Pinkie get a cover attempt? Shields already battling back to his feet. Again, the back of these gentlemen's minds, if they lose here, they're out of the running of Super Indy 10. And certainly only the best make it to Super Indy. Keep in mind, Matthew Justice qualified for Super Indy, defeating Sanjay Dutt before he got signed to World Wrestling Entertainment. Shields with a sit-out. Death Valley driver. Hooked both legs and he got an ear fall. And again, you make it to Super Indy 10, guaranteed future opportunities here at IWC. The loser here, we may never see again in the International Wrestling Cartel. Shields with a straight kick. Follow through. Down with a Falcon Arrow. International influence there. Near fall situation again. Proving it takes more than a great body, or a allegedly great body, to get to the Super Indy 10 Elite 8. Shields will be competing at the Super 8 tournament at the end of the month. The most prestigious tournament on the East Coast. So he's certainly already training for this atmosphere. But Sanchez, that adrenaline kicks in one more time. Sanchez is a very unique athlete. You never quite know where he stands, mentally or physically. And Pinkie sent headfirst into the middle turnbuckle.
The Shields looked to gain the advantage there, but his frustration got the better of him.
Pinkie elevates himself, crashes down on the top, and then sends Shields into the turnbuckle. That's only a thin padding covering a steel bolt. And a steam! The running butt. Shields is dazed. All the weight of Pinkie crashed right into the side of the head of Bobby Shields. Right to the jaw with the kick. Shields in the tree of woe.
That is not a place anybody wants to find themselves.
Shields trying to bridge himself up to unhook his foot, but Sanchez is stepping down on top of it and collides again with the body weight. Gravity is Bobby Shields' enemy in that exchange.
This could be it.
Shields is down. Pinkie Sanchez makes it to Super Indy. Pinkie Sanchez wins his IWC debut. What do you think, gentlemen? How could Pinkie Sanchez fare against the athletes like Facade, like Gory, like the rest of the field of 8, made up of the finest of IWC and beyond?
I think Sanchez will fit right in with those guys. We're going to see some pretty spectacular matches. Super Indy 10 is shaping up to be an amazing tournament, and it looks like these gentlemen are celebrating the holiday in there right now.
It'll be this upcoming June live. It'll be available soon on IWC DVD. It's Super Indy 10, the Court Time Sports Center. Could Pinkie Sanchez make his name in IWC overnight? Could Pinkie Sanchez be our next Super Indy champion? Well, Esquire is a young athlete that made his IWC debut in Clearfield, Pennsylvania. Encountered an unfortunate injury in his matchup with late night Nicky Valentino, who I was privileged enough to be joined by a few nights ago at the Night of Legends. That was an experience. But regardless, Will Esquire looking to redeem himself from Clearfield in one-on-one competition. And this is a great young athlete out of the Cleveland area, and has impressed a lot of people, turned a lot of heads to get this return opportunity against one of IWC's homegrown youngsters out of our training school, the ICWA Iron City Wrestling Academy.
Joe, I've had the privilege of calling a lot of Will Esquire's matches. I mean, the kid's a blue chipper. He's impressed me a lot. Every time I get in the ring, every time he gets in the ring, I see something new out of him. And tonight, he told me he's going to bring out something different, so I'm looking forward to see what he's going to do.
Well, so am I. Pedro DeLuca now with the introduction of the opponent. Tyler Stone's another guy trying to gain traction here at IWC. He's been sidetracked, he's been detoured over the past couple of months because he's been a victim of the Founding Fathers. The Founding Fathers don't want any spotlight on the young guys. They don't want any spotlight on the guys that have busted their rear ends to make it to this roster, or busted their rear ends to make it to an upper echelon. And as a result, Stone's been the receiving end of a lot of gang assaults. He hasn't had a lot of one-on-one opportunities to showcase himself, but two young men with a lot of hunger and a lot of heart. That's what I'm looking forward to in this athletic contest.
Now, Joe, Ken, you alluded to it just now. Tyler Stone, when when you talk about heart, guts, and intensity, this man has it. And the more that he's been put down, each week that he comes out here, he delivers more intensity, and it's not slowing him down at all.
And Stone's just a guy that's been just overwhelmed. I mean, look at Dennis Gregory, 5-time IWC champion. Jimmy Vegas, who was the first ever 2-time IWC champion. John McChesney, the current champion. Dean Radford, who's always intimidating. And Bubba the Bulldog, as the mastermind. If you're Tyler Stone and you're looking at those odds, you're looking across from the ring at almost a dozen IWC world titles in those men's careers. It's almost hopeless. You hate to say it. But he's just not at that level yet, but he will be very, very soon if he keeps working as hard as he has thus far.
You know, guys, a few years down the road, these could be future Super Indy guys, Super Indy winners.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, that's how great the future is for both of these guys.
Well, I'll never forget in 2004 calling the debuts of Jason Gory and Shiima Xion, and look at the heights they've risen to. Not to put the pressure on these gentlemen to reach that pedestal, which is a 1 in a million shot for anybody in this industry. But again, they've impressed Chuck Roberts, and as hard as it is to do, even though we won't admit it, they had to have impressed Bubba the Bulldog as well because, well, they're in this ring competing.
And these two men are just two of the examples of some of the young talent that the IWC is carrying today, and that's one of the things that makes this organization as exciting as it is.
Well, don't let Bubba the Bulldog hear you say that, but I certainly agree with that. As Stone, with the side headlock takeover, Esquire has to watch his own shoulders. This could be turned to a pinning combination, or adversely so, a combination on Stone for a moment. And great job the ICWA has done in instilling great tacticianship, if that is a word, on both of these young athletes.
I'll take it. I got the dictionary here, and yes, there it is.
All right. Esquire with a wrist lock. Stone has to maintain his vertical base, or else the leverage will be firmly in favor of Esquire. Both these men are similarly built in height and stature. And a lot of respect for Tyler Stone as he's gotten the better of Esquire in the opening moments.
Well, Esquire, very smart there, buying some time, causing some distraction with the crowd. He was able to catch his win, and we basically got a fresh start here.
Very true, but what kind of distraction is Bubba the Bulldog going to cause later tonight when he is the inside-the-ring referee officially now in our 6-man tag main event? Jimmy DeMarco's been demoted to the outside. Again, Bubba the Bulldog and Chuck Roberts, it seems whenever there's a live event, when the both of them are in attendance, it always turns into a giant power struggle, and really nobody's on the winning end. Esquire hits a beautiful drop kick, picture perfect. I don't know about you, Mr. Plummer, but I'm also looking forward to a women's action here a little bit later tonight. Lorelei Lee makes her return against Midian.
I'm very excited for that match. Now, these aren't divas. They're not out here to look good, although they do.
Yeah.
You're going to see some true wrestling action when these two women get into the ring later on tonight.
Snapmare by Esquire. And just like we talked about in the last matchup, a win here catapults your career. The loser, maybe back to the drawing board, maybe a few months before we see him. It's all about momentum. It's all about building your portfolio in the early going of your career. Stuck with a clothesline, second time. And Esquire connects with a high leg lariat.
He didn't duck that one.
Not in the least. Too red enough. And Esquire was so light on his feet in that exchange to connect with Tyler Stone. You didn't see Esquire brace himself. You didn't see him advertise the maneuver. It was one felt motion. And that's why it was executed perfectly. Perfect.
This may be a mistake by Esquire. Taunting the referee, giving Tyler Stone time to recuperate. I could be wrong on.
Who in the world are these referees anyway? That's another story.
That is Ronnie Starks.
Okay. Where's Bobby Williams? I'm wondering. I think Jim Cornette may have gotten to him after that Legends match last weekend. I'm not sure. Series of knife edges by Esquire. We're up here in the bleachers, but we can hear that clear as day.
I can feel that.
Stone responds in kind. Second time.
gives the fans what they want. They asked for one more, and that's exactly what they got.
I think Esquire would disagree. But we're seeing great fight out of Tyler Stone, great fire out of Stone that he hasn't had the opportunity to showcase in the past. Again, that agility of Esquire. Esquire came up just short, but the collision still paid off. Esquire was aiming high, connected low, and really, that could have accidentally paid off better for him as he connected with Stone right around the knee area.
Goes right back to the side headlock, wearing his man down.
You control the head, you control the body, as Gordon Soley said so many occasions. Stone having trouble just getting to his feet and staying there. But Esquire pressing the advantage, staying on top of his man, not giving Stone any chance for breathing. Head of steam. Well, smart maneuver to get that extra burst of momentum from the second turnbuckle, but just took too long to get there.
Tyler Stone setting up for something big here.
Stone going Northern Lights, has a bridge, shoulders down, did it!
And that heart, those guts and that intensity of Tyler Stone propelling him to victory right here tonight.
Now, Mr. Cole, you got to give Tyler Stone credit. You got to admit and agree that for the likes of Bubba the Bulldog and company, to use this guy as a pushover, a whipping boy, a stepping stone, is certainly very, very wrong. This kid can go.
Let's not go that far. That was Will Esquire. That wasn't Bubba the Bulldog. That wasn't Danny Gregory. That wasn't Dean Radford. That was a kid with a year in the business.
But a great start. The question is, can he build? Can he continue climbing up that mountain? Will one day Tyler Stone be good enough to stand up to the Founding Fathers and, dare I say, defeat them?
Bolen, please. Number 1 dog is for the IWC Super Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first the challenger, he weighs 181 pounds, wrestling out of Buenos Aires, Argentina. He is the self-proclaimed good guy, Azrieal.
I was very, very impressed by Azrael back at Super Indy 9. The largest Super Indy tournament in company history, and Azrieal made it to, well, the way it was structured this past year, the final 3. The final matchup was a 3-way, and Azrieal certainly performed very, very well up until the very end. He's competed against the biggest and best in IWC before, but can he knock off the man that made Super Indy what it is today, gentlemen? Well, when there's 3 people and stuff, we'll figure it out. He is the man with controlled aggression and howling fury. Super Hentai defeated the WWE bound Matthew Justice just a few days ago in Franklin, Pennsylvania. And as a result, Hentai is now the 3-time current reigning and defending Super Indy champion, the man that made that title what it was and what it still is. In 2002, when he defeated the Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels to win the first Super Indy tournament in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. Ever since then, the Super Indy title has been all over the US, Hawaii, Japan, and Hentai has faced Daniels. He's faced Punk, Cabana, AJ Styles, so many others. Add Azrieal to that list. Azrieal, I think, is very, very underrated. He's performed very, very well on the East Coast, much like Pinkie Sanchez, as we mentioned earlier. He's been an expert singles wrestler, expert tag team wrestler, held regional championships, competed in Ring of Honor once upon a time as well. And Azrieal looking to get some consistency here in IWC. It again goes back to that big marquee win, whether it's Super Indy qualifying round, Super Indy championship, any of the titles. You win that championship tonight, you make headlines, you come back time and time again, because you can count the men that have pinned Super Hentai cleanly in the middle of the ring over the past number of years. You can count those individuals on one hand.
If there is, though, a man that can do it, Joe, Azrieal may be that man. I was watching him warm up before the show here tonight. This man is technically sound, and he really does pack a punch. Much greater than you would think just by looking at him. Well,
I think that statement could very well describe Super Hentai as well, who has so much muscle packed onto that frame. You may look at him and want to judge him for his height, but really, when you're in the ring with him and you feel that onslaught, you feel the threat, so to speak, you wouldn't know. Super Hentai flies with a toe fake and helo to the outside. And Hentai is an athlete that will always give it his all, always put it all on the line here in IWC. Hentai's another man that certainly has had issues with the Founding Fathers in recent months. The Founding Fathers have inserted themselves in a number of Super Indy Championship matches, and you have to believe, you have to know, Super Hentai does not want the championship to be won or lost, thanks to help from the Founding Fathers. And that was unfortunately how Hentai won the Super Indy Championship once upon a time. It's factored in many, many, many times. And we still really haven't heard much from Hentai in regards to that situation. But we do know Hentai, he is a very intense competitor. He's got a temper on him, so you know he's not too happy.
I think that's a testament to Hentai. The fact that he's had so many distractions, yet has been able to stay so focused and stay in the IWC Super Indy title picture.
That's right. Whip reversal. Hentai up and over. And Hentai hits that steel turnbuckle. I believe I'll correct myself. I believe Hentai's a 4-time Super Indy champion, as opposed to 3. There's a deep hook of the leg, 2 and no. But that just adds to his storied legacy. I believe there's only one man that can compete with Hentai as far as Super Indy titles won, and that, of course, is our reigning heavyweight champion, John McChesney. Azrieal sends Hentai for the ride. Next to with a forearm. And notice he does not break contact. Chancery into the overhead suplex, bridging up. Azrael's upper body weight was driven down onto the shoulders of Hentai. That makes it tougher to kick out. But Hentai has certainly shown more reserve, more resolve, more tenacity than almost any competitor we have ever seen in IWC. Azrieal calls himself the good guy, but certainly not displaying many of those traits right now, is he, gentlemen?
No, I think if you ask the fans, I don't believe they'd agree with that.
I believe Mr. Cole supports the actions and tactics of one Azrieal.
He did break the count and break the choke before 5.
You would have to certainly agree that choking and eye rakes is not what the Super Indy legacy has been built on, is it not?
You didn't say that. You act like there hasn't been a champion do that in the past.
Well, certainly very true as well. And Azrieal with a straight boot to the face of Hentai. You can see Hentai's neck snap back.
Hentai may be out.
How could you not be? Shoulders down. Referee was out of position, and Hentai, perhaps instinctively, was able to kick out. That may have been all that saved the Super Indy Innovator in that exchange. Hentai scoops Azrieal up with a quick snap power slam. Great rotation on the effort, and this is Hentai's attempt to get a little surcease. A little bit of breathing room as the referee has the obligatory 10 count. If the match neither man gets to their feet before 10, the matchup ends, but I don't think you have to worry about that with these athletes. Whoever gets to their feet first may have the advantage. And there's those hard rights of Hentai. Azrieal on the receiving end a third time. And there's a bit of an eye for an eye as far as the brawling type tactics that Azrael has showcased. Huge clothesline, second time. And Hentai has the momentum. Hentai measuring Azrieal. Could be time, gentlemen. Well, I might have to go for triple knees, but instead it's that jumping back elbow. Hurricane Rana takeover. Hentai keeps Azrieal low to the ground for impact and almost got it. You can see both men breathing heavily, however. True super Indy-like efforts, superhuman-like efforts even, between both these athletes. Azrieal breaks the grasp of Hentai. Connects with a cutter. That modified jawbreaker. That could do it. No. Azrieal left that right shoulder of Hentai exposed. And Hentai was able to slide it off the canvas at just the nick of time. But, gentlemen, you can see the frustration starting to set in on Azrieal. He may be thinking desperate measures.
Yeah, you can see that frustration. He's taking off his elbow pads, and after several unsuccessful pinfall attempts, you can't blame him.
Hentai meets Azrieal with a foot. Gotta wonder what Flippin' Ain't Easy may be feeling watching this matchup in the back. Pinkie Sanchez watching this matchup in the back. This is the very same type of toll they'll have to take on their own bodies this summer for Super Indy 10.
They're in some dangerous territory up there.
Very precariously perched. And Hentai has a very thick skull, loves to utilize that headbutt. He's knocked people out, he's busted people open with that headbutt before. He will concuss. But can he keep his balance?
It's very risky, but it could pay off.
Superplex coming up! Oh! From nearly 10 feet in the air, Azrieal hits hard. But the damage was done on Hentai as well.
Can he get the cover?
Hentai is inching. He's crawling. Hook of the leg. Near fall again.
Notice how Azrael moved over onto his stomach prior to that pin. And that may have been what saved him right there.
That's great championship instinct. Stay off your back at all costs. No matter where you are or what you're doing. And Hentai with a knife edge. Azrieal with a knee. Bulldog. Nicely done, Hentai. Not even out on his feet, out on his knee, and a thrust kick.
That's it. We got a new champion.
Well, I think you're right. No. After how many times that Super Indy title has eluded Hentai over the years, he knows what it takes to get it back. It took Hentai, I believe, some 6 years after losing the title in his first reign to recapture it. Hentai has to have that in the back of his mind right now.
And you could just feel the frustration building with Azrael. Yet another close but unsuccessful pin attempt.
And Azrieal takes Hentai back up to dangerous territory.
Azrael may be looking for a little receipt on that superplex.
Oh yeah, a little bit of sweet revenge. You got that right. But again, the headbutts of Hentai come into play. Azrieal down. Now time for a little triple knee action of Hentai. Will 3 knees be enough? Hook in the leg and Hentai retains the championship. The 4th reign of Hentai continues this evening But gentlemen, what a hard-fought effort. What a gutsy performance by both men. Azrieal showed a lot competing on this level against the man that personifies, is the embodiment of Super Indy. But tonight, Hentai was a shade better. What is next for Hentai? What is his response to the Founding Fathers and the mounting contenders heading in to the 10th anniversary of the Tournament and Championship, whose prestige he is synonymous with and he helped create? Super Hentai continues to press on as champion. Well, we have a very Midian is, I was about to say a very, well, unwelcome surprise, but that might not be entirely true. Ouch. Midian making a statement here. That's young Gory futuristic. He came from the future just to tighten a ring, and trip didn't pay off.
She slapped Pedro as well.
Well, he probably had that coming, but Midian was assaulting Gory futuristic. TV 14, folks. And she throws the microphone. What disrespect. Well, Midian doesn't like Lorelei Lee and doesn't like pretty much anybody in New Kensington. And, well, she showcased it here. She wrestles Lorelei Lee later tonight in this DVD. How will Lorelei's response be to Midian's outrageous claims and dastardly actions out here?
I liked her.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is the special no disqualification, no countout, anything goes, tables, ladders, and chairs match. Introducing first, he weighs 1,520 pounds, wrestling out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. But he's turning his south in the Founding Fathers. He is the frontman, Logan.
I'm here to help. Excuse me.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as Logan Shulo makes his way to the ring, I am joined by the most delicious referee I've ever seen in my life. Jimmy DeMarco, Classic Ken Cole is still here, even though Classic Ken Cole may regret it a few minutes into this diatribe. But Jimmy DeMarco, Logan Shulo is set to take on a man you know all too well, your cousin, an issue you're very familiar with, very seriously, because the Founding Fathers are the reasons that you're here and in these slimming stripes and not competing.
I don't even know what to say, Joe Dombrowski. It's so great to be back. It's so great to be here with you.
Well, it's great to have you here, too. I wish you were competing in the ring. I wish you were still representing us as IWC champion. I honestly do, but...
You like Marshall's new Kevin Nash gear?
We do know that the Gambino family, including you as the cousin, have always stuck together. And you know Marshall's fighting for your honor in this matchup, as well as the honor of Mickey Gambino, who was assaulted last week, didn't even make it to the ring at the Night of Legends. for that scheduled tag team matchup, and that degenerated quickly into a lot of madness. But Logan Shulo's a guy I'm very disappointed in, Jimmy, because Shulo, in my estimation, is being used by the Founding Fathers. He doesn't fit in. He doesn't stand for what they stand for, and they obviously used him in the tag match in Franklin. He took all the abuse, he got pinned, and they held back.
I agree, but you got to give him credit because right now he's manhandling a guy the size of Marshall Gambino. Kenneth Colin, what do you think about that?
Well, like you said, he jumped in.
Oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry. Look at the power of this. Oh!
Marshall just caught Shulo in midair. That's about 240 pounds or so.
He basically just put Logan's fire out altogether there.
Logan likes it.
And keep in mind, this is no rules. Tables, ladders, chairs, weapons, the whole 9 yards. And this was made by Bubba the Bulldog as an attempt to stick it to Marshall Gambino and stack the odds, but one would exactly argue, oh my God.
Oh my God, how did it get this bad? Why did it have to be TLC like this already? Come on.
Well, with your family's history, with Marshall's history, is that really a disadvantage unless we see the Founding Fathers out here, which I'm watching that curtain out of the corner of my eye. That would not surprise me.
I won't stand for that. I'm senior official in charge of all officials.
You're the only official here I've recognized so far, so that fits. Shulo.
We are in New Kent, I'm sorry.
Gets the foot up, elevates himself, but it looks like he's lost the momentum. And Gambino sent Shulo onto the ladder.
Oh, I love it. Stuff like this is what wrestling's all about. Violence and guys in Kevin Nash gear giving spine busters like Arn Anderson.
Cover 2-0. Well, I do appreciate the fact and love the fact that even though you had that heartbreaking situation back in November, you lost your in-ring career, you haven't lost the essence of the true Jimmy DeMarco.
I'm going to quote the great governor of California and say, I'll be back. I will be back. You know what? I might never ever wrestle again, but I'm going to become something bigger than wrestling. You know, there's wrestlers and sports entertainers. I'm going to become the next level of that.
As long as you don't become an action soap opera, whatever bullcrap they're trying to force on us these days.
We had this discussion, Dombrowski, romantic sports entertainment. It's about to get romantic right now on the titties of Logan Shulo.
I plead the fifth, but we are TV-14.
Dombrowski, you know what date it is, don't you?
Yes.
Well,
it's April 20th.
I know. That's like me being here tonight is like Jesus showing up on Earth on Christmas Day. Uh-oh.
I don't think it is.
Oh, look at all those feet of those children. Oh.
Several young children are assaulting Logan Shulo in the front row.
Marshall just used the boys in the hood as weapons. Come on, man. I didn't know boys to men were here tonight. I love Marshall. He's my blood, but come on, that's a legal weapon. Would you say that's a ghetto?
Ouch.
A ghetto foreign object?
All right, yeah.
An African-American object, perhaps?
No, I'm not going to go that far. Standards and practices are probably... Oh, my God!
Oh, my God! I'm sorry. Marsh, this is what IWC is all about.
You just love violence, don't you?
The rotund ass of Marshall Gambino just broke that guardrail.
Now, keep in mind, Logan Shulo is working at the behalf and behest of the guy who humiliated you center of the ring at Winner Take All, Bubba the Bulldog.
It's not fair, man. I mean, 5 guys on one, what do you call that?
And you had some choice words for Bubba earlier tonight that I will not repeat.
Well, Joe, let's not forget, if Marshall wins this match, he gets Bubba on the 27th.
Which I would love. That's the road to Super 80 10 Next Live event. If Logan Shulo wins, he's officially a founding father, and I question how that relationship would progress. But a relationship now being created between Marshall Gambino and these hard bleachers.
You know, I understand why the founding fathers are all upset. I understand that men have a legitimate gripe and they want to, you know, when 2 men want to have a son and they want to adopt. I understand when founding fathers want to do stuff like that. 2 guys can raise a good kid.
I don't think that's what they mean by fathers. I get your point, though. I understand. Oh, my God!
Marshall Gambino going crazy in New Kent.
DDT on the reinforced bleachers. No give at all. Flesh will not win out over steel.
Tony F., if you pan to the right, you'll see Skull officials utterly in awe over this. I bet they can't wait to book the next date.
Oh, my God.
It's got to be a 12-foot ladder Marshall got there.
Half these fans may not make it to the next date.
Joe Dombrowski hasn't seen anything that long since he unzipped his pants. Long, cold, and hard. Well, minus the cold part for Dombrowski. Sweltering in a 98.6 degree temperature. Hailing from pants unknown.
To reset this, Marshall Gambino, Logan Shulo one-on-one here. It's founding father versus IWC. And Shulo literally just got thrown out of the building.
Marshall Gambino took it upon himself to take out the trash.
The guardrail is bent.
I see a puzzled, peculiar look on the face of Chuck Roberts. This is what happens when King Kong gets loose in Times Square. Logan Shulo is just that blonde chick.
Well, I hope Chuck didn't forget what the Gambinos are capable of. But it's desperate times and desperate measures with the founding fathers as they try to grow and expand further.
Oh, look at the fan.
Moving on now, Logan Shulo. Suplex attempt. Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
You can feel the thud reverberating all the way up here.
Marshall Gambino is a lunatic. He's the craziest man in IWC next to Joe Dombrowski.
Well, Marshall Gambino certainly, I don't know if he saw it, but he at least felt the repercussions of his brother being taken out this past weekend. And certainly, you're on that list as well, being taken out of active competition. Marshall's the only family member left to fight the good fight.
This is not right. This isn't fair.
Marshall, it's the edge of that ring post, excuse me, solid steel.
These fans think that it's over. It's far from over. It's just getting started, man.
These fans are in awe.
They are in awe.
And Shulo has that gigantic ladder again.
That is a big-ass ladder, man.
Shulo can't even control the thing. It's got to be about 15 feet high and almost decapitated the guy in the front row.
Logan Shulo, you want to use the front end, dumbass.
Well, I think Shulo wanted to jab those sharp edges right with Marshall Gambino.
But Logan Shulo's like a real housewife, but he's never used an actual like friggin' ladder before. Come on, man. This is professional. Oh, he's opening it.
Shulo's not going for style points. He's playing for pain.
Dombrowski, when that ladder just opened up, I got the sensation through my body as if a girl spread her legs. He's going up. Oh my God.
Don't you do that.
Logan, you're going up the wrong side. Don't do it.
Wait, Marshall's going up the other side.
This may be the end of either or both of these men.
Jesus God Almighty.
This is the stakes. The power structure of IWC.
Oh, Marshall's taking this to a whole new level. Marshall's taking this.
Shulo hits very awkwardly, but
that on the apron.
Yeah, that may be a good thing for him. It could have been so much worse. There's tables and solid wood floors and people and chairs.
Oh, nobody cares about the people.
Well, that may be your assumption, but Shulo's got one of those chairs now. This just shows you how bad Marshall wants Bubba one-on-one.
Not like this.
Marshall tried to block it, but right in the side of the face, Shulo connected. Keep in mind, Bubba was the one that kept the Gambinos out of IWC when they lost a loser leaves, wouldn't re-sign them, terminated their contract time and again, made them come in disguised as Los Dagos to get an opportunity to compete here. Finally, Chuck Roberts hoodwinked Bubba into signing a document that left the Gambinos back in, but Marshall does not forget all that humiliation that Bubba tried to do to keep the Gambinos out so he could fulfill his own plot.
I think Bubba hates Italian people. I think he's racist and sexist.
I'm not so sure about that. Not sure.
Is that Sandman we see here in attendance?
I certainly hope not, but Shulo positioning that ladder. This is not going to end well.
Dombrowski, I don't know what to think here. Have you ever... Oh, God. College Fightfest is getting taken out of control, Joe.
It is. And how are you going to stop it when the two guys in charge are the ones that booked the match? There will be casualties here before we have a set conclusion in this Chuck versus Bubba power struggle. And Chuck watching very closely and intently, as he just mentioned, because, well, these are his employees. He cares about their well-being. Bubba doesn't give a darn. Think about this, Shulo. Do you really want to take this risk for Bubba?
Man, go higher, Logan.
With his track record, do you want to do this, kid?
And he is going higher.
Logan, go higher, because right now he's only as high as the ring post. Go higher. Use that ladder's height.
No.
Oh, come on, you wuss.
But that's the floor. That's not the ring. Oh, my God.
unbelievable. This is what Founding Fathers against Chuck Roberts' clique has happened to. I don't even know the name of the group. I'm in it and I don't even know the name. I'm the good guys. That's all I know.
Shulo is a modern-day kamikaze, crashing down onto Marshall Gambino.
If they're the Founding Fathers, does that make us like the bastard children?
I don't believe so, but that makes you guys the heart and soul of this company. That makes you guys the lifeblood of this company. You can pick whatever cute buzzwords you want. The bottom line is, guys like you and Shiima, Facade, Gory, Hentai, etc., you've earned the spots these past few years, while most of those guys were out elsewhere in other endeavors.
Thanks, Joe.
Hey guys, Marshall's not moving down there.
He's not moving.
If they're the Founding Fathers, does that make us like the pulsating, throbbing organ?
All right, let's just stop trying to market this right now, because there may not be anybody left to market it to after the way this match has progressed.
Hey, Marshall's a tough guy, and if anyone could withstand that, it's Marshall Gambino. But I don't know if anybody could withstand that. Logan,
he's not moving.
A lot of man.
He's not moving.
Not like this.
Oh no! Marshall got out.
He wants more. Joey wants more.
Marshall Gambino got out. It may have taken every single remaining ounce of energy left in his body, but Marshall kicked out.
Logan's getting another table.
And if you're Logan Shulo, you're thinking, what do I have to do to end this?
Apparently use another table.
Yeah. Cool call, Ken Colin.
Shulo. I'll tell you what, there's only one Jimmy DeMarco who can remain like this under pressure. I wish I could be this jovial under this kind of pressure, but...
So did you ever think I'm hiding with a mask and I'm really depressed and irritated and annoyed and frustrated?
Well, that could be true as well, but this is not really... We don't have enough time for psychoanalysis right now. We'll do that online. Logan Shulo is punishing Marshall Gambino, and Marshall Gambino may be looking at the end of his career.
Marshall's a tough guy. I've been in matches with him with tables and ladders and stuff like that. And, you know, he puts his fingers places they don't go. He'll do anything he has to do to win that match.
Well, you've been on both sides of the Marshall Gambino onslaught. You've been a partner and you've been a rival. But Shulo finds himself on the table.
Oh, Gene Radford.
Oh, no. Gene Radford is at ringside of the Founding Fathers. He's hooked Marshall Gambino's foot in the crutch, tosses the other one in, and it's totally legal. And this is why that stipulation's in place.
Those titanium crutches of Dean Radford. Oh, wait a minute! Wait a minute!
Marshall's still fighting!
No!
6 inches from hell! Radford just noticed it! And a disappointed Radford looks on as Marshall pins their prospect Shulo.
I love it. I love it.
And Marshall gets Bubba on May 27th.
That's right. That's the road. That's the road to Super Indy 10 on DVD very, very soon, live at the Court Time Sports Center. Mr. DeMarco, the IWC faithful, have fired another shot against the Founding Fathers. They tried to increase their strength in numbers, but now Shulo is not a member of the Founding Fathers, which I don't think will bother Bubba too much.
Here comes Bubba right now. Bubba the bull dyke.
He's more upset about having to wrestle Marshall than anything. You gotta believe that. After what we just saw, didn't put down Marshall, what the heck's Bubba gonna have to do?
Oh no, he's using the titanium crutches. Oh, look at Marshall.
Guess that runs in the family.
Marshall looks aroused.
Well, Marshall will certainly get much pleasure through the pain. He will put Bubba the Bulldog in at the road to Super Indy 10 coming up this May in Elizabeth, Pennsylvania. And there you see, no respect for anybody but their own. Shulo wasn't around 5 years ago when these guys were on top here in IWC, so he's going to punish him.
He didn't get a job done, so he got to pay for it now.
Well, where the hell was the help? Where was Bubba's big plan? One guy on crutches.
Oh, that's not fair.
Due to his win at Road to Super Indy, 1-on-1, in the big Bubba the Bulldog versus Marshall Gambino.
And that's something that's really about a year in the making. And no amount of punishment on Logan Shulo is going to change that. Mr. DeMarco, how are you going to feel watching on as Marshall, the Bull Gambino, finally gets a piece above the Bulldog?
Indescribable. It's going to be one of those moments in time that just freeze. You know what I mean? I can name a few, but PG-14 or whatever you said.
Marshall the Bull, Bobby the Bulldog, dues will be paid on the road to Super Indy.
Tony.
Second half of IWC's College Fightfest Volume 2 here this evening as Chest Flexor makes his way to the ring. And what can you say about Chest Flexor? It hasn't already been said at some point.
I don't think there's much, Joe. I mean, if you visited our website at www.IWCWrestling.com, check out the bottom of the page. Who is Chest Flexor? Well, that's pretty much answered.
I watched them all. I'm more confused than ever. He thinks he's a billionaire. He dresses like a stuffed animal. He's a great competitor, but you kind of forget about that sometimes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just instruct to inform you all here at Penn State, Kensington, that this is not an optical illusion. What you see before you here and now is indeed a real man.
Real men wear that? I've been way off. DiMera, the feature presentation. Another man like Tyler Stone, who's been the victim, the whipping boy, so to speak, of the Founding Fathers. They've been focusing on guys like DiMera and Stone to make an example because they are not quite on that level yet, but are rapidly working their way to that level. Chest Flexor and Dave DiMera should be a much more evenly matched contest and a chance for DiMera to potentially shine here tonight, much like we saw Tyler Stone shine earlier tonight.
It's going to take a lot to outshine Chest Flexor.
Now we'll see if Chest Flexor can bounce back after his, what you could say, horrible night at Night of Legends. Not only being called out by Jerry Lawler, but receiving a stunner from former WWE diva Sunny.
Yeah, whenever Chest Flexor makes his way to Franklin, PA, he doesn't have the greatest accuracy rate in challenging the legends. We've seen him on the receiving end of the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase's $1 Million Dream. We saw him disguised as Kimchi one year. What kind of idiot would do that? He had a run-in with Sergeant Slaughter. Mr. Hughes beat the bejesus out of him. Flexor's running out of legends to get assaulted by. Flexor takes over on DiMera with a side headlock. Flexor knows DiMera's still a rookie. Flexor with more experience in and around IWC by far. DiMera looking to prove something, and Flexor wants a timeout. Flexor adjusting that annoying strand of hair he always has draped over his face, and DiMera going to grab the whole thing, handful of ponytail.
Yeah, maybe he should have worried about the rest of that hair.
Well, seems he doesn't as much as he should by lots of things, but he's sent into the ring the hard way by DiMera. Scoops up Flexor and slams him down. Great form on the slam, but not enough to put away Chest Flexor. He's a very tough man in his own right. We've seen him side by side with the Gambino family as well in the past. He certainly can get the job done. But a very eccentric, unique personality. Flexor's down off the suplex, 2-0.
DiMera, a graduate of the Iron City Wrestling Academy, he's showing exactly what he learned there right here tonight so far. Very close fall.
Well, certainly the Academy is a great, great way to begin your journey as a wrestler. Great STO takedown. It's a judo-style maneuver by DiMera, but there's no substitution for competing actually competing in front of a live audience. And we've seen DiMera do it a handful of times, but he's going high risk. Moonsault, but nobody home. And that's why you don't take that many high risks young into your career. DiMera took an extra half second or so to get to the top rope, advertised the maneuver. Flexor, a veteran maneuver, was waiting with the knees.
And it'll be several moments before he can even catch his breath after that one. Flexor's still going after the abdomen.
Yeah, stomach breaker. And Flexor knows that DiMera probably had the wind knocked out of him when he missed that moonsault. Only a 1 count.
And then the headbutt to the abdomen. Flexor, a lot more intelligent than you would imagine with the outfit and the appearance that he goes on. He's focusing on a body part, and that is what these men are usually told to do.
Systematic dissection. The best know how it's done.
Again, focusing on that same area.
And just imagine all this pressure on your midsection, and then just trying to take in a breath. Especially after already having the wind knocked out of you.
No, he's just standing on his stomach. I mean,
well, very intelligently done.
Exactly, using his experience and his quickness against the more powerful. I'm sure you'd agree.
Certainly.
DiMera.
DiMera has more body mass, but he has no chance to demonstrate that when he's on the canvas.
Nice uppercut.
Flexor taking advantage of the official's slow count, making a count, so to speak. And now, again, that tightly enforced ring cable. You're not going to be able to expand your lungs, expand your stomach when that rope is down on you like that.
Very cleverly done using his surroundings. Now dragging DiMera to the middle of the ring.
Flexor certainly adept at using the ring itself as an offensive weapon. And now cinching a body scissors, and it's not popular amongst the fans, but again, it stays within the strategy. It's tunnel vision.
It's not a flashy move, but it gets the job done.
And I'm sure chest flexor, many opponents could attest, has deceptively strong leg muscles. But DiMera is able to break the grasp and just scoop Flexor up from behind and plant him ribs first right on DiMera's own knee. Nicely done, but not enough. But DiMera has created a bit of a breather for himself.
And he certainly needs it. I mean, look at him. He's sucking down that wind after being focused on the abdomen for that long. This man hasn't breathed much this match.
Guys, he's coming for the moonsault again.
Didn't pay off the first time.
Doesn't look like he's going to pay off again.
Results not different in round 2. Now, that's not exactly the midsection, but certainly does its damage.
Nice little double stomp.
Again, this is one of the last places you want to find yourself during a match. Completely vulnerable.
Cover, 2 and no. Vulnerable, not to mention upside down and stuck in the corner. Flexor knows what he's doing. Down with a neck breaker, nicely done. Got it? No, near fall. Little leg sweep, jackknife pin, and DiMera caught him!
Out of nowhere.
Able to use his weight and hold those shoulders down. Good win for DiMera.
Flexor had the game plan, he had the offense, but at the end of the day, he just got out-techniqued. There was a little bit left in the tank for DiMera than Flexor thought there was, and that assumption cost chest Flexor a big victory.
Joe, Ken, this is a prime example of why you just never give up. Things were looking grim for DiMera. He hung in there and he pulled it off.
And Flexor's bad luck continues.
And it's David DiMera pulling out a big win, rebuilding from the many assaults from the founding fathers. DiMera proving, much to the dismay of Bubba the Bulldog and company, he has a very bright future here in the IWC.
The following tag team contest is the best 2 on the 3 balls, and it's for the IWC Tag Team Championship. Introducing our split challengers, they
maybe my personal favorite of the night that I've been anticipating more than anything. Two teams I'm a big fan of that have made major strides for themselves. Surrounding the ring right now is Aeroform. Flip Kendrick leading the way, Lewis Lyndon bringing up the rear. They are products of the East Lansing Dojo in East Lansing, Michigan. And Aeroform have been in IWC before in singles competition in Super Indy 9, as well as in tag team competition against Flippin and Easy, the reigning tag team champions. And Ken, when these teams met, they flat out stole the show.
Hey, you know, Joe, we need an air traffic controller with what's going on in that ring. There's going to be guys flying everywhere here in a few minutes.
This match was scheduled 2 out of 3 falls a number of months ago, had to be postponed due to a scheduling conflict, but all 4 men are here tonight and ready to give it their all. Heavy metal high flyer Jason Gory, joined by the Neon Ninja himself, Michael the Bomber Facade, as they enter against one of the toughest tests of their tag team championship reign. We've seen them defend against the best teams in and out of IWC, from here to Canada and everywhere in between. We've seen the team themselves travel to other regions of this country and really begin to grow as competitors and performers. But tonight, all that could come to a screeching halt. I've said it many times about Flippin' Ain't Easy. They sure make it look easy, but in this matchup with this opposition, that statement has never been truer.
Now, Joe, you said this may be your favorite match of the night, and I don't think you're alone. I had the opportunity to talk with several fans after Night of Legends last Saturday, and many of them told me that they felt that this was a show stealer when Flippin' Ain't Easy was successful in defending their titles over the Bravado brothers.
That's right. Lance and Harlan Bravado, outstanding Ring of Honor tag team, gave Flippin' Ain't Easy the fight of the night, some would say. A this is awesome chant erupting throughout Franklin High School this past Saturday as Lewis Lyndon starts out with Jason Gory. Lewis Lyndon is a master of capoeira, which is a Brazilian form of jiu-jitsu. And that comes with his training at the East Lansing Dojo in East Lansing, Michigan. You see, Lyndon has a lot of parallels to Facade, and then he combines high-flying wrestling with the martial arts. Facade and Lyndon both with a heavy Japanese influence in their style and their thought process. But right now it's Gory testing his wares against Lyndon right now center ring. Matchup starting out very slowly. Both men don't want to make a mistake here. The other's good enough to capitalize instantaneously. Normally, a quick tempo would favor either of these teams against the average opponent, but you cannot say that for sure in this matchup. Gory with the forearms. But there you see, as soon as there's an opening, as soon as there's a distance, Lyndon can surprise you. Leg sweep cover attempt. And both men in a stalemate. Mind you, 2 out of 3 falls. There will be no flukes in this matchup. There will be no accidents. We will have one clear, decisive winner before it's all said and done, and that team will be the IWC Tag Team Champions.
Both teams tag freshmen in here. Let's see what these two can do.
Now, guys, while it may not be as brutal as 3 singles matches in one night, Facade and Gory can use this best 2 out of 3 falls match to their advantage to kind of practice, build up their stamina, get a feel for what it's going to take in their Super Indy adventure coming up later this summer.
That's really an excellent point, and in a way this may be even a different dynamic than Super Indy, as it's almost like 3 matches back to back. That's what we're dealing with right now, and certainly Facade has chased the Super Indy gold for many years. Jason Gory has the dubious distinction of being the shortest reigning champion in Super Indy history. He would still love to erase that image.
He'll certainly have his opportunity.
And you never know where Flip Kendrick's coming from. Springboard, down with the arm drag. Flip Kendrick is so great at zigging when you think he's going to zag. And pound for pound, maybe the best pure athlete in IWC, in any wrestling organization today. Kendrick can do things that most athletes just cannot. There's a near fall. Certainly, the first fall here will give a big psychological advantage to one of these teams. Not that they're going to want to rest on their laurels by any means, but they can wrestle more defensively, take less risks, wrestle a smarter match, and hopefully try to go 2 falls straight.
And that goes for almost any sport. Any best of 3, 5, or 7 series, if you can get that advantage early on, you're going to have a huge advantage to the rest of it, at least mentally, if not physically as well.
Facade with a very athletic counter, go-behinds all around.
Better tag by Gory tagged in.
Yeah, blind tag, undetected by Lyndon, and allows Flippin ain't easy to use the double team. Springboard drop kick by Facade, Gory into the cover, 2-0.
We have counters. We have counters being counters. This is incredible, and this is what we've come to know and expect from these tag teams so far here in the IWC.
Series of forearms by Gory. Facade, Gory, double leapfrog, and Facade connects. Martial arts style once again, 2-0. No one uses the ropes as a better friend than Michael Facade. So many different springboards, so many different ways he can come at you. And Gory, even though he can fly and is just as, if not quicker, than Facade, if you can imagine that, Gory brings more of a power base. Here you see with the right hand to the forearms, but Lyndon's able to battle free. Hurricane Rana nicely done, tag into Flip Kendrick.
And after that series of tag moves, Lyndon needed a tag there. Kendrick in to take over.
Absolutely did.
Torture rack.
Very innovative one there.
They do a mule kick type maneuver to the stomach, and again, much as we talked about in the prior matchup, wind is so very important, especially in a 2 out of 3 falls contest. Nicely done by Kendrick. Double team coming up. Open hand chop. Martial arts style by Lyndon.
I question Lyndon tagging himself back in that quick. He took a heck of a beating, was out for like 30 seconds at that, and then tagged himself back in. I don't know if that was such a good decision on his part.
Well, that's a very good point. Lyndon right now has Gory trapped in almost a compact version of an abdominal stretch, where he's regaining his own wind, but at the same time stretching away at the intercostals and Jason Gory, keeping Gory from breathing properly. And you tear any of that cartilage, and again, breathing becomes a very tough job. Frequent tags now by Aeroform. Seems Aeroform's attempted to keep both men fresh. Easier said than done, but again, Gory dropped stomach first, right on the knee. Standing shooting star, Kendrick could have first fall, but Facade in and up. Facade not going to waste any time or take any chances in the defending champions going down a fall early.
Now Aeroform's doing exactly what they need to. They're cutting the ring off, keeping one man in the ring, and the quick tags.
Cutting the ring off at its hypotenuse. And you can see a mean streak out of both of these teams thus far. The competitive nature is coming out of both these athletes, all 4 of these athletes I should say. They're not going for style points, they're going to get the damage done. Gory with the enziguri. And Michael Facade has been tagging.
He's able to get back to his corner. It was looking grim.
But Facade now consequently the freshest man in this matchup.
That's a huge momentum shift.
Facade so adept at controlling his weight. And off comes the gi, gentlemen. Facade means business. Maybe time to finish his first fall off. Facade gonna set up. Could be, thought it could have been the Arashikage driver instead. Standard inverted DDT, almost got fall 1. Facade tags back in Gory. Flip Kendrick not going to stand for it. Now all 4 athletes and the referee has lost complete control. The referee makes a better door than a window, but that's another story. Kendrick Sends Facade in. Amazing balance. Amazing balance. And that ring is moving, ladies and gentlemen. But Facade's still able to stay perfectly straight in the air and connect with the satellite head system to Lyndon. Now it's Gory's turn to fly. Uses Facade as a springboard. And the heavy metal high flyer lives up to his name.
These men are fearless, and you can see that in some of these moves that they do.
You want to talk fearless? Watch Facade. No, Lyndon. Facade took his eye off the ball. Louis Lyndon's the legal man. And Lyndon threw the rope for the helo. And that impact drove all three men halfway up this entrance area.
1, 2.
What if fall one ended in a double count out? Then we could have an interesting problem as we pressed on.
1, 4.
Counts at 5, and we see no signs of returning to the ring.
Again, I believe Gory and Lyndon are legal here. That's why the count is on them, even though Facade is in the ring. But comes the Styles corkscrew.
Another fearless maneuver. And that's why these guys are show stealers.
Facade does not know the meaning of the word can't. He's put his life and limb at risk countless times. And Flip Kendrick, he doesn't just defy gravity, he outright disrespects it. Evidence here. Flip it up high.
Unbelievable. Oh my
Ups
goodness.
Facade on the revolution meter.
And he's getting the fans into this one now too.
I think he picked up the spare on that one.
Flip Kendrick puts the proverbial exclamation point on this sentence.
All right, guys, who's legal?
I believe Louis Lyndon is legal for the Aeroform team. I believe it's Jason Gory for the Flippin' Easy team. And that's correct, as we have a cover 2 and no. Again, they were the two men being counted on the outside a moment ago by the official.
And a good job by the official to keep track of that mess that we just saw. Right
well, we
there.
were just guessing, so credit to him. He can stand in front of the camera all he wants now. Irish whip.
Blind tag.
Gory doesn't see it. Gory's going for trepidation. That'll be fall 1. Jeez. But Flip Kendrick with a shooting star. It took a lot out of Lyndon. It didn't take enough out of Gory. Fall 1 goes to Aeroform.
The winners of the first fall, Flip Kendrick and Louis Lyndon.
Guys, we could be seeing new tag team champions here tonight. I really wasn't expecting that.
Well, you can never count on Aeroform. I've seen them many a time in their travels. And looks like we see no rest period here between these
no
teams.
breather. And why give it to him?
But you see in that brief couple seconds, Facade rolled Gory out. Started the second fall.
Yeah. I think Flippin' Easy got away with one there with the legal men not starting, unless they made a blind tag we were unaware of. But traditionally the rules are the legal men at the end of fall 1 start fall 2. But either way, if Gory had been forced to start this fall, this match may have already been over. With Kendrick, almost a reverse suplex. Drops Facade face first.
Yeah, guys, after that shooting star and everything, Lyndon just now made it back to the apron.
That's right. And Lyndon, a very smart tag team maneuver. Some may not find it particularly ethical, but Lyndon takes away Gory, takes away the illegal man. So there's no attempted attack. The drop kick into Gory.
Guys, this could be it.
Dragon suplex, got it! No!
Oh my goodness.
Facade out at the last second.
That was close. Almost done for. Tag to Flip Kendrick, who immediately mounts the top. Gory, there's a little bit of a receipt from earlier.
Gory could have just saved the titles.
Pushes Lyndon into Kendrick. Kendrick loses his balance momentarily.
Oh!
And that moment was all Gory needed.
He's out.
To meet Kendrick with the knees. Cognizant of Facade is still the legal man. Half a second away from tying this matchup up. What heart shown by both teams thus far. Still probably only about halfway into this contest, if you can believe it. Flip sent in. Gory with a clothesline. Lyndon pushed off. Both teams doing a great job of trying to negate the illegal man. Facade goes springboard. Connects with a shot to the back of the head. I don't know if Facade got all that he wanted on that exchange, but he got enough to daze Flip Kendrick and set up this double team. Double team attempt. Gory connected, but Flip Kendrick moves so quickly it's hard to catch him in one location. Buddy Moonsault coming up. This'll do it. Gory lost his footing, but Facade still connected. Is that enough? That was enough on this exchange. You can see the fatigue.
And Lyndon just couldn't regain his energy and get back in the ring and make the save there.
And you can see the fatigue on Jason Gory now. Could not execute that moonsault, but so much has been taken out of Flip Kendrick, it wasn't necessarily required. And now it comes down to who has what left in the third and deciding ball.
And these guys are going with no breaks. And I don't think you can ever underestimate the fact that they're not getting a breather in between this.
Could the second time be a charm? Buddy Moonsault. No timeouts here, that's right. Second time, got it.
Side with the pin.
Lyndon's down, but Kendrick makes the save. That assuredly would have been it. All four men dazed in the ring. QAS coming up. Right into Facade. The assisted lung blower. Kendrick dropped into Lyndon. Bridging, shoulders down. Beautiful combo. The champions have done it.
Incredible come from behind victory. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was truly doubting their ability to hang on to the titles.
Well, Flippin and Easy have faced so many very tough tests. None may be tougher than Aeroform. And amazing testament to Flippin and Easy. They not only won this matchup, but they essentially pinned both of their challengers simultaneously. Flippin and Easy is the tag team to beat in this region of the country right now, and I'm not sure if there's a team that I know of that can get the job done. Made a lot of headlines in professional wrestling over the past several months, working for a lot of high-profile organizations, part of Ring of Honor as well, which is certainly very close with Fritz Nana and the Embassy.
Then I see you over there applauding. I just don't know how you can do that after this play we saw earlier tonight.
How can you not? She proved that she's more than just looks. She can wrestle and she wants to be taken seriously in this business.
I don't believe slapping the ring announcer qualifies as wrestling, but...
you want to slap the ring announcer too?
Well, maybe sometimes. Young lady we've seen before here in IWC. Couple of ladies we've seen before, as a matter of fact. Lorelei Lee, certainly with a vastly different opinion of this New Kensington crowd than Mia Yim had. But as we touched on earlier, this is not a beauty contest. It's not a lingerie show. This is competitive, athletic women's wrestling. Athletes. These women have competed in all the top organizations regionally.
Here we go again.
Shimmer Women's Athletics, run by my good close personal longtime friend, Mr. Dave Prazak, a number of others as well. These women have traveled far and wide and have added IWC to one of those stops. Lorelei Lee with some very deep arm drags to open things up early against Mia Yim. And you see the athletic prowess of Lorelei Lee not wasting any time You gotta believe Lorelei Lee was very upset at the conduct of Mia Yim earlier in this night, slapping the ring announcer, slapping Corey Futuristic, and not endearing herself to anybody. Early facebuster, nicely done, elbow follow through. Headstand with senton, went for the moonsault, however, and got caught high. The knee of Mia Yim right around the jawbone.
Her neck bent very awkwardly on that. We'll see if that comes back into play later on in this match.
On posing and
Did you
smiling.
see that sweet smile?
Oh, wasn't it gorgeous?
It was.
So innocent, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's a very attractive young lady, but it's going to take more than that to advance to a victory in this match. Certainly more than that to win over this New Kensington crowd.
I just want to know how something can look so good yet hurt so bad.
Look at the clothesline. Lorelei Lee attempted a chancery, possible suplex, but Yim just fights her way free desperately.
Just putting a knee across her throat.
The body scissors, restricting the breathing.
And add insult to injury by hitting forearms in the back of the head.
Yeah, you can't compose yourself when you're being assaulted from behind, as Lorelei Lee is right now. Lee bridges back. It's a pending combination on Yim. Yim's own shoulders are on the mat. Able to reverse the momentum and now trap the shoulders of Lorelei. Lee trying to break free. Oof. Impact explains it all. Right to the spine, follow through cover for 2.
Yim means business out there.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you don't get as far as she has on such a limited amount of experience by being a pushover, by being shy about things. Mia Yim wants people to stand up and take notice of her, that's for sure. But it's Lorelei Lee attempting the sunset flip. Yim drops down, weight on Lorelei's shoulders. She would stop punching, that would have been a pinning combination, but now illegal once again with a choke. I have to admit there's a bit of degree of showmanship in Mia Yim not attempting to win this matchup as of yet.
She's not done making a statement yet.
No. Double handful of hair. Beals her across the ring. And in just the past couple of minutes, Lee has been put in big time trouble. Choke in the corner.
Yeah, we're seeing hair pulls and chokes galore here.
Yeah, it's very ethical, but let's get the job done.
Ken, this woman's right up your alley.
Oh, she is. I love it.
Easy,
That's
Tiger.
great.
Look at this.
Imagine being on the wrong end of a breakup with her. Standing on the hair, pulling up on the body. Lee able to get her feet up. Victory roll. Roll through with the weight. Who's going to get Lem on top? Nobody.
Something had to give. The ring's only so big.
Yeah, they ran out of ring and Yim hits face first on the turnbuckle. Neither woman had the defensive advantage. They kept rolling. Yim back with a drop kick, however, and just like that, Lorelei Lee back to the canvas.
Yim runs in, catches the elbow.
Yeah, Lorelei just trying to battle herself out of the corner. And Mia's getting frustrated. It's working, and that allowed a mistake. Mia's first major mistake in this matchup. Handspring elbow. Lorelei Lee is feeling it. The modified bulldog. The hook. No. A huge win for Lorelei Lee. Mia's in trouble for pretty much the first time in this matchup. Second mistake Mia Yim has made. Roll up out of the corner, trying to hang on. That's an illegal advantage, by the way. Referee detects it.
Oh, come on.
Gives down and out.
Oh, the ref had no business sticking his nose in there.
Penn is heartbroken.
That's not right at all.
Maybe you can go console her after the match.
Maybe I will.
Oh, well.
Stay right here. We got one more. We got an incredible main event coming up. Why don't you stick with us for one more, then we'll let you go.
Yeah, it's going to be a wild main event. I think let's give Mia Yim some time to get out of the building first. Mia Yim and Lorelei Lee. Tremendous athletic contest, and this bratty-like persona of Mia Yim not going to take too kindly to losing, but Lorelei Lee gets her hand raised tonight, and as you said,
with the assist from the ref.
Well, main event, heartbeat away.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following is a special six-man lumberjack number 2 match. First, let me bring to the ring the first special guest referee. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bolen.
Things haven't gone Bubba's night thus far. I'm not sure how that helped anything, but Bubba Bolen will have to wrestle Marshall Gambino one-on-one, road to Super Indy in May.
And introducing the second special guest referee, Delicious Jimmy DeMarco.
This is what I've been waiting for. Great to see Jimmy DeMarco back. He only re-debuted this past Saturday at the Night of Legends 2011, but now DeMarco sharing a ring with a man who was ultimately responsible for ending DeMarco's wrestling career, his dream, and his reign as IWC champion. You know what's killing DeMarco? He puts up a great facade up here, no pun intended, but you know what's killing him? That he cannot compete anymore. It's all about the power when it comes to the Founding Fathers. It's all about maintaining their spot on top. It's all about opportunities that have been earned by men like DeMarco, Shiima, Bolen, Facade, Jason Gory, on down the line. It's all about them being pushed out of the top spots for the old guard. Dean Radford, Jimmy Vegas, Dennis Gregory, Bubba the Bulldog. Four of the most instrumental and influential men in IWC history. But in all fairness, that was in years prior. Years ahead, it's Shiima Xion's time. It's John Bolen's time. It's Flippin Ain't Easy's time. And the men who claim they run IWC aren't so well off going off gently into the sunset.
And Joe, you may not like them, you may not agree with their tactics, but they are still unbelievable competitors, as much as it pains me to say it.
Jimmy DeMarco showing no respect for John McChesney. McChesney was the man that beat DeMarco. To end DeMarco's career, a lot of people say the championship McChesney is wearing should still be DeMarco. And McChesney has the gall to parade around here in an RIP Jimmy DeMarco t-shirt. For my money, Shiima's time is now. And if Shiima Xion's #1 on my list, John Bolen's got to be 1A. These men have proven themselves time and again in recent years. through all hardship, they've survived.
Here's the hometown hero, and it looks like he's brought the Lumberjacks with him. The crowd is going absolutely wild.
Xion is an individual whom Shiima Xion met in his travels.
Don't underestimate him just based on his size, Joe, because this man's got heart, and he knows that this is his biggest opportunity yet.
Yeah, without a question it is, to say the least, but is it too much? Is it too big a chance? A number of IWC's own serving as Lumberjacks as well, along with these New Kensington natives, here to support Xion. And sauntering out to the ring as well as Dean Radford, who fractured his knee recently in Clearfield. He can't compete, but you can never look past him. And of course, Bubba the Bulldog as the in-ring official, overpowering, overruling Gina Marco and Chuck Roberts. Bubba is in charge of all in-ring doings in IWC. And if you're Xion, what kind of intimidation is running through your mind right now?
He's got to be terrified, Joe, but he does have a lot of fans here backing him, and that might be enough. I mean, looking at this, it does look like the odds are stacked severely against him.
Like I said earlier, it was an interesting swerve by Team Shiima Xion, something the Founding Fathers didn't expect, and something that takes the hometown advantage decisively into the favor of Xion and Bolen. But the amount of time this kid spends in the ring could be the telling point as to whether or not this plan backfires or not.
Fab's gonna wrestle with the belt on.
Well, McChesney, Big League, has not even taken off the IWC title yet. That's how beneath him he feels Xion is.
He's showing no respect here, and that's come to be known from these guys. They don't respect pretty much anybody, and when this newcomer steps into the ring, that's exactly what he's gonna get. No respect.
Well, Xion, he doesn't train for power, that's for sure. He may have endurance, that could help him. Collar and elbow. And again, Xion muscled down. Welcome to the big leagues, says Big League. But, well, the mood just changed. John Bolen has not gotten along with the Founding Fathers ever since their business deal disintegrated.
He's gonna get another shot right here, Xion.
Bolen biding his time. Xion wants a little bit more. I'll give him credit for guts. Arm tag! This kid's got something.
Oh! He didn't earn the respect of McChesney, though.
No, Big League feels embarrassed. And McChesney is backing away from this kid, and now the tag to Bolen. Dean Radford mouthing off at some of these students here, but we got the big boys in the ring now.
Two of the strongest men in IWC.
Bolen and Vegas. You got over 500 pounds in the ring right now just between the two of them. Irresistible force and the immovable object. Tag into Dennis Gregory, the most decorated champion.
I don't think Bubba knows it though.
Yeah, you think Bubba cares?
so I don't think Bolen knows.
Well, oh, there you go. That's true. And now mocking the referee's count as if there's a danger of a DQ. That's the problem with these founding fathers. There's too many of them. Gregory, most decorated IWC champion of all time. 5 times he's held that championship, more than anybody in history. And Bolen just got woken up. But then he goes to the eyes. No eye machine at the gym, man. Firing away right between the eyes. And Bolen sent to the outside, and keep in mind the job of the Lumberjacks is to throw the wrestler back in, but well, they know where their bread's buttered. They know the enemy here, and it's damn sure the founding fathers. So what's negated, what the advantages in ring is negated by the advantage on the outside, hopefully. But how much can you do from the outside of the ring? Bubba's the one counting the falls. And I'll be very interested to see in how the pace of the counts are from Bubba. Bolen measures Gregory, huge headbutt.
Now the Lumberjacks doing their job.
Oh, now this isn't right.
The students getting involved.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, but when Bolen goes on, nobody throws him back in, that's fine, right?
That's the home field advantage you got to expect.
Shiima springs in with a missile drop. You can check out the electricity that Xion brings to this match.
You guys are a couple biased commentators here.
And Bubba the Bulldog's a biased dictator. He's a biased director of operations. I want a level playing field. You're not getting that from Bubba.
A level playing field. There's 5 founding fathers out there. They're outnumbered 10-1 here.
But they're outside the ring.
And they were helping Bolen and
Xion taking care of everybody. And McChesney's in enemy territory, that's for sure.
And the founding fathers came still in the apron because Jimmy DeMarco's over there bothering him.
So Jimmy DeMarco does. They cost him his career.
His job is to be an official on the outside.
Bubba just puts the leg on the rope there.
All right, Bubba back Shiima right into the enemy corner.
This is disgusting.
And Bolen and Xion trying to get
him out of the ring.
They get cut off at the pass. Michael Facade trying to give chase to McChesney, but Dean Radford and those crutches are right. There's no way to win here. They still have a plan. They still have an avenue. Oh, come on now.
And again, we see the crutches come
That's
into
not
play.
necessary. They're in control of the match already. Shiima to the outside, and well, they're doing their job just a little bit more gently than the other side of the Lumberjacks.
All right, ladies, take it easy.
Well, I don't think she wanted to let go.
Oh, come on. This is ridiculous.
They're doing their job. They're helping him back in the ring. That's what they're there for.
Yeah.
McChesney doesn't have to like it. That's the rules.
McChesney, nice back elbow. And another.
Action resuming center ring as Shiima drops McChesney hard. And this, a little bit of a rematch of what we saw at Night of Legends this past Saturday. Shiima challenged John McChesney for the IWC title, and if it wasn't for the diversion created by Dean Radford, Shiima might be champion today.
Nice drop kick by Fabulous.
And McChesney,
Big league, I'm sorry.
Big league, that's right.
I'm sorry.
Don't let him hear you say that. Vertical leap second to none does John McChesney.
Fabulous drop kick by Big Leg. How about that?
There you go. He still feels himself as very fabulous, but the fabulous moniker's dead and buried. I respected fabulous John McChesney, not so much here. And Dennis Gregory, always ready for war. The war machine himself. Shiima, a former IWC champion in his own right, sends Gregory to the outside. Then he puts the brakes on, but he has no idea what's coming. Look out. Bolen finishes the job. And now what Vegas is yelling at people. McChesney's pushing people out of the way. Facade struggling. We got Bedlam out here. Watch Shiima!
Shiima, unbelievably high!
2 for the price of 1.
Radford's lost one of his crutches in the melee.
Yeah, Flippin AZ disrespecting Dean Radford down there.
Radford may lose a heck of a lot more if he's not careful.
If he keeps putting his crutches where they don't belong, he's got to expect that to happen.
And Cielo now, elevated to the outside. And all 3 of the founding fathers are down, and Bubba has no idea what to do. Now what? McChesney thrown back in. I'm not sure he's the legal man. Not sure it matters because these referees have an agenda.
Blood rushing to the head.
It's amazing power by Bolen. Amazing power. Gotta be in excess of 30 seconds by now. He's had McChesney out.
Comes crashing down.
And McChesney, he's delusional, he's delirious, he's not sure where he is. A dizzying effect on your equilibrium that has. Watch Cielo.
The hometown favorite.
Dennis Gregory. Catapult Cielo almost the width of the ring.
The roof was about to blow off of this place, and the founding fathers shut the crowd up once again.
Got it.
Oh!
Again?
Oh! My chest hurts.
Another tag into Jimmy Vegas. And look at this mismatch. Vegas opening up on Cielo.
Cielo's got to get out of there. This is not where he wants to be. He's being treated like a rag doll.
Tag back into Big League. This is exactly what the fathers wanted. Take the unproven commodity and isolate it. They don't want a piece of Shiima. Darn sure don't want a piece of Bolen.
Big Leg going up.
Second turnbuckle on the inside. Picture perfect execution on the leg drop.
There we go, guys.
Got it. Check out that fast cover. That fast count.
Looks fair to me.
Well, I'd imagine it would.
The crowd really getting into it. This is what Cielo needs. Look at him use that momentum to his advantage.
That proverbial 6th man coming into play. Cielo firing away. Went to shoot off McChesney.
He's out.
McChesney with, needless to say, more body weight than Cielo.
Cielo is unconscious.
Dead weight.
This isn't good, guys. Not for Cielo.
Especially not with the most cerebral athlete in IWC, Dennis Gregory, tagged in. The man that betrayed his former friend Jimmy DeMarco and helped cost DeMarco his career. And DeMarco is looking at a former good friend right now. No doubt rage is in the eyes of the delicious one as Gregory just decimates Cielo. Could this do it? Bolen makes the save. Bubba trying to keep Shiima and Bolen at bay. Shiima and Bolen know they can't put their hands on Bubba or it's an instant disqualification. They're trapped. And guys like Flippin ain't easy and Tyler Stone, who've been victimized by the fathers in the recent past, watching on helpless.
Big league tag back in. Like it or not, the founding fathers have cut the ring off, kept one guy in the ring. Let's face it, the weakest guy on that team.
Well, how hard's that to do with the referee in your back pocket?
They got 25 people around ringside.
They're not in this match. They're here to make sure the match stays in the ring.
They're not here yet. I don't trust any of them people.
Oh. None of them are trained athletes. They're not trained professional wrestlers.
Some are.
Some of them are. But they have an axe to grind. And Dean Radford's out there. And he'll darn sure.
With a bum leg. He's on crutches. What's he gonna do?
He's got two weapons. What do you think he did when Shiima wrestled McChesney last Saturday night? He's the reason the championship's still on McChesney's waist.
I didn't see that.
Oh. Cielo.
He's digging deep here.
Pushes McChesney free. High risk. Cross body.
Can we see an upset here? The crowds are certainly ready for one.
He needs to make a tag. What a reaction here. What motivation this must be for the kid. Tag is in to Bolen. And now Bubba's lost all control. She was lying in the ring as well.
Vegas eliminated from the equation temporarily.
It's Bolen and Denny. It's Shiima and Big League. Meeting the mind center ring. Drop kick by Bolen. And Founding Fathers in enemy territory right now. And this war continues. Bolen has Vegas now. Shiima has McChesney. Cielo's back in the fold.
Oh no!
Look at this!
Oh my goodness, unbelievable! They just took out two members of the Founding Fathers and a few of the Lumberjacks.
Cielo doesn't have a lot of weight, but learning how to use it to his advantage.
Dennis Gregory's leaving.
What?
He's out of here. Bubba doesn't know what's going on.
Where the hell's Dennis Gregory going?
Wait a minute.
C4! C4! Denny's gone! And the official referee has just so happened accidentally knocked out.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold on. By the way, Bubba, I just added you to the match. Should we do the honors?
Chuck out Bubba!
You gotta be kidding me!
Cielo pin Bubba!
This has to be upset of the year! And this crowd is going wild!
That's Chuck abusing his power there.
You want to talk about abuse of power? That's Bubba the Bulldog in every sense of the word. And Chuck couldn't be happier. The Founding Fathers fell apart, but Cielo rebounded. Bolen got the tag, and all hell broke loose. DeMarco was the X Factor with the C4, and Chuck Roberts with that little extra addition to the matchmaking process. Cielo, the New Kensington native, pins Bubba the Bulldog, and what a visual to end our night here tonight, gentlemen. It's Bolen, Cielo, Shiima Xion, and Joe Dombrowski returns to get retribution on the end of his career. The Founding Fathers need to regroup, but right now the IWC faithful and Cielo are standing on top of the IWC mountain.